Hello, my dear students. Welcome to our English class. So, we have successfully completed our first unit, Nature's Plenty. Now, we are going to the second unit, Tales and Tunes. Students, tell me what is the meaning of tales? Yes, very good. Tales means stories. Do you know what is the speciality of March 20? March 20 is World Storytelling Day. Stories have come down to us from our elders and books. Stories once heard must be passed on. Now tell me, students, do you like to listen to stories? What kind of stories would you like to listen to? Who tells you stories? Think about it, children. Now, let's read what Vimal's grandmother has to tell him about stories. So, listen carefully. Vimal is a lucky boy. He has a grandmother who tells him lots of stories. Every night at bedtime, there is a story for him. What fantastic stories grandmother has told Vimal! Stories of animals and birds, of clever and senseless people, of magic and music, stars and sages, and many more. One day, Vimal asked his grandmother if stories grew on trees. She laughed and said, "No, not on trees." Then, where do we get the stories from? Vimal asked. I got them from my grandmother. I, in turn, tell you. Vimal, remember to tell your friends these stories so that they can also enjoy them. But Vimal said, No, I don't want to tell them any of these stories. They are my stories, my treasure. I don't want to give them away. Don't be silly, my boy. Stories are meant to be told. Listen and tell. That's the law of the story kingdom, his grandmother said. So, my dear students, what is the law of the story kingdom? Yes, very good. The law of the story kingdom is stories are meant to be told, listen, and tell. See the difficult words here. Sage. Sage means very wise man. Treasure means highly valued object. Now, tell me, students, have you heard of the famous storyteller Aesop? He was a Greek slave who lived in 600 BC. Aesop did not write the fables he told. They have been orally passed on from generation to generation. What is a fable? A fable is a traditional short story that teaches a moral, especially one with animals as characters. So the fables by Aesop is known as Aesop's Fables. Let's read one of Aesop's fables. A rich voyager from Athens was on a voyage with two companions. In the course of their voyage, a violent storm blew up and capsized the ship. The companions tried to swim ashore, but the rich voyager kept calling on Athena, the goddess of Athens, and promised her lavish offerings if he escaped. One of his shipwrecked companions, as he swam past, shouted to him, Don't leave it all to Athena. Use your arms as well. So, students, we will see the difficult words here. Voyage means a long journey by sea. Voyager. Voyager means a person going on a long journey by sea. Capsize means to turn over. Shipwreck means the destruction of a ship at sea. So, given below are some proverbs and sayings. Which of these can be taken as the moral of the story? and why. So, what is the moral of the story here? Yes, the moral of the story here is God helps those who help themselves because the rich voyager does not do anything. He only calls on Athena and promises her lavish offerings. Yes. So, do you know what is the meaning of proverb? Proverb is a short sentence that people often quote which gives advice or tells something about life. Look at the proverbs given below. What message do they convey? Discuss. A friend in need is a friend indeed. God helps those who help themselves. So, the meaning of God helps those who help themselves is mere worship will not lead us to success. God has given us everything. It is our duty to work hard. Now, let's see the meaning of a friend in need is a friend indeed. A true friend is one who is helpful to the friend in his need. A real friend is always ready to help his friend even if he is not in a position to help. So, this is the meaning of a friend in need is a friend indeed. Now, match each of the proverbs on the left with its meaning on the right. The first one is done for you. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. It means that don't take the chance of losing something you have in search of something better. Next one is an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So, if you eat the right food, you will be healthy. A stitch in time saves nine. That means don't put off doing something. It will become worse and cause extra work. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. That means you can't be sure about something until you try it. Too many cooks spoil the broth. That means one good person can get the job done quicker. So, students, I hope you all have enjoyed today's class. So, we will meet in the next class with the rest portion. Thank you, students. Stay home and stay safe.